In a world filled with constant distractions and pressures, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by anger or irritation. The key to mastering these emotions lies in understanding the power of perspective. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to events are not dictated by the events themselves, but by our interpretations of them. This means that we hold the power to change our emotional responses by shifting how we perceive the situations around us. Imagine a scenario where someone cuts you off in traffic. Your immediate reaction might be anger, but what if you pause to consider that the driver could be rushing to an emergency? By reframing your perspective, you can transform your anger into empathy. This shift is not about denying your feelings. Rather, it's about recognizing that you have control over how you respond to those feelings. The Stoics believe that by focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts and reactions, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace that is impervious to external disturbances. This perspective empowers us to approach life's challenges with calmness and clarity. When faced with criticism or unkind words, instead of reacting defensively, we can choose to reflect on the intent behind the words. Perhaps the person is dealing with their struggles and projecting their frustrations onto us. When we understand this, we can respond with compassion rather than anger. Embracing this mindset allows us to navigate life's ups and downs without being easily shaken. The journey towards emotional mastery begins with this fundamental realization. We can choose how we interpret and respond to the world around us. Acceptance is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a vital tool in managing anger and frustration. Life is unpredictable, filled with events and circumstances that are beyond our control. Instead of resisting or fighting against these realities, Stoicism encourages us to embrace acceptance. This doesn't mean we passively accept everything that happens to us. Rather, we acknowledge that certain situations are outside our influence and choose to focus on our responses instead. For example, if a colleague criticizes your work, your initial reaction may be to feel defensive or angry. However, by practicing acceptance, you can recognize that their opinion is just that, an opinion. It does not define your worth or capability. Accepting this allows you to detach your self-esteem from external validation, fostering resilience. Furthermore, acceptance opens the door to personal growth. When we accept our circumstances, we can evaluate them objectively, identifying areas for improvement without the cloud of anger. This mindset shift transforms challenges into opportunities for learning. It's essential to remember that acceptance is an active process. It requires conscious effort and practice. One effective strategy is to engage in daily reflections, where you contemplate the events of the day and identify moments where acceptance could have changed your emotional response. Over time, this practice will help you develop a more accepting attitude, reducing emotional turmoil and enhancing your overall well-being. By embracing acceptance, you cultivate a sense of peace that shields you from the chaos of the external world. This inner tranquility empowers you to navigate life's challenges with grace, ensuring that you remain unbothered by the actions and opinions of others. Detachment is a powerful concept in Stoicism that can significantly help in managing anger and emotional disturbances. It involves creating a mental space between ourselves and the events or people that provoke strong feelings. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. Rather, it's about recognizing that our emotions are often tied to our attachments and expectations. When we become overly attached to outcomes or the opinions of others, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. For instance, if you invest significant emotional energy into seeking approval from your peers, any criticism can feel like a personal attack, triggering anger or hurt. By practicing detachment, you learn to separate your self-worth from external validation. This shift allows you to view situations more objectively, reducing the emotional weight they carry. One effective technique for fostering detachment is to visualize the scenario from a third-person perspective. Imagine watching the situation unfold as an observer rather than a participant. Can help you see the event without the emotional charge, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Additionally, cultivating an understanding of impermanence can enhance your ability to detach. Recognize that all things, both good and bad, are transient. This realization helps you appreciate the present moment without clinging to it or fearing its loss. By embracing detachment, you empower yourself to respond to life's challenges with calmness and clarity. It frees you from the emotional roller coaster caused by external circumstances, allowing you to maintain your inner peace regardless of what happens around you. This sense of detachment ultimately leads to a more balanced and fulfilling life, where you are less easily disturbed by the actions and opinions of others. Mindfulness is an essential practice in Stoicism that can significantly enhance your ability to manage anger and emotional responses. At its core, mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment and aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. This awareness allows you to recognize when anger or frustration begins to arise, giving you the opportunity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. One effective way to cultivate mindfulness is through meditation. Taking just a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath can help center your thoughts and emotions. As you practice, you'll become more attuned to your internal landscape, enabling you to identify triggers that lead to anger. When you notice these triggers, you can pause and reflect before reacting. This pause is crucial. It creates space for you to choose a more measured response. Additionally, incorporating mindfulness into your daily activities, such as eating, walking, or even conversing, can deepen your awareness. Focus on the sensations, sounds, and feelings associated with these experiences. This practice not only enhances your ability to remain calm, but also enriches your overall experience of life. Another aspect of mindfulness is acceptance of your emotions as they arise. Instead of suppressing or denying feelings of anger, acknowledge them without judgment. Recognize that it's natural to feel anger, but it's how you respond to that anger that matters. By observing your emotions with curiosity rather than fear, you create an opportunity for growth. Over time, mindfulness fosters a sense of inner peace and resilience, enabling you to navigate life's challenges with grace. This practice empowers you to remain unbothered by external circumstances, allowing you to maintain emotional balance in the face of adversity. Rationality is a fundamental principle in Stoicism that plays a crucial role in managing anger and emotional disturbances. The Stoics believed that human beings possess the unique ability to reason, which allows us to analyze situations logically rather than react emotionally. When faced with provocation, our initial instinct may be to respond with anger. However, by applying rational thought, we can step back and assess the situation more objectively. This process begins with questioning the validity of our emotional responses. Ask yourself, is my anger justified? What evidence do I have to support my feelings? Often upon reflection, you may find that your anger is based on assumptions or misunderstandings rather than facts. For instance, if a friend cancels plans at the last minute, your immediate reaction might be frustration. But when you take a moment to consider potential reasons, such as their own personal struggles, you can see the situation from a different angle. This rational analysis helps diffuse anger and fosters empathy. Another important aspect of rationality is recognizing the impermanence of situations. The Stoics taught that everything is temporary, including our emotional experiences. By reminding ourselves that the current moment will pass, we can reduce the intensity of our feelings. Additionally, employing rationality involves setting realistic expectations about others' behaviors. People will inevitably disappoint us or act in ways we don't agree with. By accepting this reality, we can avoid unnecessary anger. Practicing rationality not only enhances our emotional resilience, but also cultivates a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. This clarity empowers us to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and composure, ensuring that we remain unbothered by external influences. Reflection is a vital practice in Stoicism that can significantly enhance your ability to manage anger and emotional responses. Taking the time to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions allows you to gain deeper insights into your emotional triggers and patterns. This self-awareness is essential for personal growth and emotional mastery. One effective method of reflection is to maintain a daily journal. Writing down your experiences, especially those that provoke strong emotions, provides an opportunity to analyze them in a structured way. As you recount events that caused anger or frustration, Consider the underlying reasons for your emotional response. Were your expectations unmet? Did someone's words hit a sensitive spot? By identifying these triggers, you can better understand your reactions and develop strategies to address them in the future. Additionally, reflection encourages you to evaluate your values and priorities. Ask yourself whether your emotional responses align with your core beliefs. For instance, if you value patience and understanding, consider how your anger contradicts these principles. This alignment fosters a sense of integrity and purpose, making it easier to respond calmly in challenging situations. Another important aspect of reflection is the practice of reviewing your day each evening. Take a moment to think about what went well and what didn't, focusing on how you handled various situations. This practice not only reinforces positive behaviors, but also highlights areas for improvement. Over time, regular reflection cultivates emotional resilience and clarity, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. By embracing reflection as a daily practice, you empower yourself to remain unbothered by external circumstances, fostering a sense of inner peace and emotional stability. Gratitude is a transformative practice that can profoundly influence our emotional well-being, particularly in managing anger and frustration. In Stoicism, gratitude serves as a reminder of the positive aspects of our lives, helping us shift our focus away from negativity and resentment. When we cultivate a mindset of gratitude, we begin to appreciate the small joys and blessings that often go unnoticed amidst life's challenges. This shift in perspective is crucial for emotional resilience. For example, when faced with criticism or adversity, instead of dwelling on feelings of anger, take a moment to reflect on what you are grateful for in that situation. Perhaps the criticism provides an opportunity for growth or improvement. By recognizing the potential benefits, you can transform your emotional response from one of anger to one of appreciation. One effective way to practice gratitude is through a daily gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 to 5 things you are thankful for, no matter how small. This practice not only fosters a positive mindset, but also trains your brain to focus on the good, reducing the impact of negative experiences. Additionally, expressing gratitude towards others can strengthen relationships and diffuse tension. When someone upsets you, instead of reacting with anger, consider acknowledging their positive qualities or contributions. This approach can create a more constructive dialogue and foster understanding. Gratitude also encourages us to recognize that challenges are a part of life's journey. By embracing this reality, we can approach difficulties with a sense of appreciation for the lessons they offer. Cultivating gratitude empowers us to maintain emotional balance, allowing us to remain unbothered by external circumstances and fostering a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Resilience is a key quality that Stoicism encourages us to develop in order to effectively manage anger and navigate life's challenges. It refers to our ability to bounce back from adversity, setbacks, and emotional upheavals. By cultivating resilience, we can maintain our composure and inner peace, even in the face of difficult situations. One of the foundational aspects of building resilience is adopting a growth mindset. This involves viewing challenges as opportunities for learning and personal development, rather than insurmountable obstacles. When faced with criticism or failure, instead of reacting with anger, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this to improve? This shift in perspective fosters a sense of empowerment and allows you to approach difficulties with curiosity rather than frustration. Another important component of resilience is developing a strong support system. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Having a network of supportive friends and family can provide comfort and perspective during tough times. When you feel overwhelmed, reaching out for support can help you process your emotions and gain clarity. Additionally, practicing self-care is crucial for building resilience. Engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. Taking care of your well-being enhances your ability to cope with stress and maintain emotional balance. It's also essential to cultivate patience and acceptance. Recognize that setbacks are a natural part of life, and allow yourself the grace to navigate them without harsh self-judgment. By embracing resilience, you empower yourself to remain unbothered by external circumstances and respond to challenges with strength and composure. This quality not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also enriches your overall life experience, allowing you to thrive in the face of adversity. Forgiveness is a powerful and liberating practice that plays a crucial role in managing anger and emotional disturbances. In Stoicism, forgiveness is not merely about absolving others of their wrongdoings. It is primarily about freeing ourselves from the burden of resentment and anger. Holding on to grudges can weigh heavily on our emotional well-being, often leading to persistent feelings of frustration and bitterness. By practicing forgiveness, we can release these negative emotions and reclaim our inner peace. One effective approach to forgiveness is to reflect on the nature of human imperfection. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes, including ourselves. When someone wrongs us, it's often a result of their own struggles, misunderstandings, or vulnerabilities. By cultivating empathy for their situation, we can soften our anger and open the door to forgiveness. Another important aspect of forgiveness is understanding that it is a process, not a one-time event. It may take time to fully let go of hurt feelings, and that's okay. Allow yourself to feel your emotions without judgment, but also commit to working through them. Journaling can be a helpful tool in this process. Write about your feelings and the impact of the situation on your life. This reflection can provide clarity and facilitate the healing process. Additionally, consider the benefits of forgiveness for your own well-being. Holding on to anger can be exhausting and detrimental to your mental health. By choosing to forgive, you free yourself from the emotional weight of resentment, allowing you to move forward with greater ease and positivity. Ultimately, practicing forgiveness empowers us to maintain emotional balance and resilience, enabling us to remain unbothered by the actions of others. This journey toward forgiveness not only enriches our own lives, but also fosters healthier relationships with those around us. Embracing change is a fundamental aspect of Stoic philosophy and a vital practice for managing anger and emotional responses. Life is inherently unpredictable, and change is an inevitable part of our existence. By accepting this reality, we can cultivate a sense of peace and resilience, allowing us to navigate challenges with greater ease. One of the first steps in embracing change is to shift our mindset. Instead of viewing change as a threat or an inconvenience, we can reframe it as an opportunity for growth and learning. This perspective allows us to approach new situations with curiosity rather than fear. For instance, if you face a sudden change at work, such as a new manager or a shift in responsibilities, consider how this change might enhance your skills or lead to new opportunities. Another important aspect of embracing change is practicing flexibility. Life rarely unfolds according to our plans, and rigid expectations can lead to frustration and anger. By cultivating a flexible mindset, we can adapt more readily to new circumstances. This adaptability not only reduces stress, but also opens us up to new possibilities that we may not have considered otherwise. Additionally, it's essential to recognize that our emotional responses to change often stem from our attachment to the status quo. By practicing detachment and understanding that nothing is permanent, we can alleviate the anxiety associated with change. Mindfulness can be particularly helpful here, as it encourages us to stay present and accept our feelings without judgment. Embracing change involves cultivating patience. Some changes take time to adjust to, and it's important to be gentle with ourselves during this process. Allow yourself the grace to adapt at your own pace, and remember that growth often occurs outside of our comfort zones. By embracing change, we empower ourselves to remain unbothered by life's uncertainties, fostering resilience and inner peace in the face of adversity. Detachment is a key principle in Stoicism that can significantly aid in managing anger and emotional disturbances. It involves cultivating a sense of separation from our emotions, thoughts, and external circumstances, allowing us to respond to situations with clarity and composure. By practicing detachment, we can observe our feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them, enabling us to maintain our inner peace. One effective way to practice detachment is through mindfulness. Mindfulness encourages us to become aware of our thoughts and emotions as they arise, without judgment or attachment. When you feel anger or frustration bubbling up, Take a moment to pause and observe these feelings. Acknowledge their presence, but remind yourself that they do not define you. This practice helps create space between your emotional reactions and your responses, allowing for a more measured approach. Another important aspect of detachment is recognizing the impermanence of situations and emotions. Stoicism teaches us that everything is temporary, including our feelings. By reminding ourselves that anger and frustration will pass, we can reduce their intensity and avoid reacting impulsively. Additionally, practicing detachment involves letting go of our attachment to specific outcomes. By accepting that we cannot control everything, we can alleviate the pressure we place on ourselves and others. This acceptance fosters a sense of freedom and reduces the likelihood of emotional upheaval. Finally, cultivating compassion for ourselves and others is crucial in the practice of detachment. Understand that everyone has their struggles and imperfections, including ourselves. By approaching situations with empathy, we can detach from our anger and respond with kindness and understanding. Ultimately, the art of detachment empowers us to remain unbothered by external circumstances, enhancing our emotional resilience and fostering a deeper sense of inner peace. Perspective is a powerful tool in Stoicism that can greatly influence how we manage anger and emotional responses. Our interpretation of events shapes our feelings and reactions, and by consciously shifting our perspective, we can transform our emotional landscape. Understanding that our thoughts and beliefs play a significant role in how we perceive situations is crucial for emotional mastery. One effective method for changing perspective is to practice cognitive reframing. This involves looking at a situation from different angles to identify alternative interpretations. For example, if someone criticizes your work, instead of viewing it as a personal attack, consider it as constructive feedback that can help you improve. This shift can reduce feelings of anger and defensiveness, allowing you to respond more positively. Another important aspect of perspective is recognizing the transient nature of emotions. Just as situations change, so too do our feelings. When you find yourself overwhelmed by anger, remind yourself that this feeling is temporary and will pass. By acknowledging this impermanence, you can create space for more constructive emotions to arise. Additionally, cultivating gratitude can enhance your perspective. By focusing on what you appreciate in your life, you can shift your attention away from negativity and frustration. This practice helps foster a more balanced outlook, making it easier to navigate challenging situations without becoming emotionally reactive. Furthermore, seeking advice or insights from others can provide valuable perspectives that you may not have considered. Engaging in open conversations with trusted friends or mentors can illuminate new ways of thinking about a problem, reducing feelings of isolation and anger. Ultimately, embracing a broader perspective empowers us to remain unbothered by external circumstances. By consciously choosing how we interpret events, we can cultivate emotional resilience and maintain a sense of inner peace, even in the face of adversity.